It isn't love. It's a trauma bond. So romantic. Nope. By the end of this video, you are going to know what a trauma bond is, what it is not, how did this start, what is this cycle that you're in, or maybe a friend of yours is in, or somebody that you know, and how to break the trauma bond. They don't understand, why would you choose that? Nobody would choose that. The thing that is so important to remember is that this doesn't start this way. An abusive relationship often starts really kind and loving. The abuse doesn't start right away. It's a slow burn. A trauma bond is not you and somebody bonding over past traumas in your life. No. A trauma bond is created slowly and very carefully, just like an addiction. 1, if you feel butterflies, this can be so confusing, right? Because it can often be mistaken for chemistry. Save it for the butterfly pavilion, okay? Or out in nature. Number 2, I got from Dr. Ramani, who I love. If you don't know her, look her up. She knows a lot about the trauma bond. And she said from all of her clients that have been in a trauma bond, when she asked them, what did you like about this person? They always say, or what do you like? They always say, it's just this magical thing, you know? When you just know, you know. It's hard to put my finger on it. She says, no, loving, understanding, respectful. We have mutual interest. This magical, I don't know, you just know when you know. That's very dangerous. You begin to seek validation. This might sneak up on you because you might not be that type of person. You might be a very secure, confident person. This is how you know if you're in a trauma bond, because they will give you a lot of love bombing. You're the best person, put you up on a pedestal, idealize you. And then slowly they'll begin to silence that part, less and less compliments, ambiguous comments. You've never worn that before. Oh, white is a choice for you. Oh, isn't that girl hot in that black shirt? Weird stuff. It'll start slow though. So it'll be things that if you mention right away, often you look like the hypersensitive, insecure person, which also works to the abuser's advantage. This is all very deliberate. Then you can stay in this trauma bond because now maybe you've attracted everybody around you to treat you this same way. So you might be in trauma bonds with all your friends and family. And if that's the case, it's easy for them to shame you and go, what's wrong with you? And your standards are too high and you should just settle. And relationships are hard work. And start thinking, well, I guess I should just take this on. Or they do the opposite and shame you by saying, well, you just have a bad picker. You always have bad relationships. So then you might stay in this trauma bonded situation thinking, well, if I always pick bad when I just love somebody, I'm always going to choose bad. So this isn't that bad and I love the good times, so I'm just going to stay. Is that I had for my candle? You might get gaslit. Well, you will in a trauma bond. You will get gaslit. So they'll gaslight you into thinking, you know, that your gut feelings are incorrect. And the thing is, if you wait until you have actual proof, it's often too late. Now you are fully in a trauma bond. By the time you have the evidence that your gut instincts were true about them, it will be too late. And then next comes the discard. So if they discard you over and over and are coming back to you, see, drawn towards the good feeling stuff. You want the abuse to stop so that you could go back to feeling good. That's only natural. So for example, you're going out to dinner. The abuser wants you to look up directions. You're not doing it fast enough. You gave them the wrong direction. Now you're panicking. You don't have Wi-Fi, something. And then they keep saying, well, if I did this, if I did that, I would have been perfect. Why are you so stupid? Why can't you do this? You had the one thing I made. And they berate you all the way to dinner. But then maybe they're now in a good mood because you're at dinner and finally eating. You can begin to let the past go because you want to have a nice time. And now you're in that trauma bond. Very confusing, especially if this abuser was really nice to you. That's the push me, pull you, and they will do that. They'll be really nice to you, put you up on a pedestal, and maybe nothing even happened, nothing bad at all, and they just change their mind. They devalue you, they discard you. And so you think, something had to have happened because people don't just switch like that. I must have done something wrong. And that's where you can get into trouble too, because you start taking all this responsibility and making it okay for their terrible behavior. So then when they do come back, you're so ready for the nice treatment that you take all the responsibility even though you didn't do anything wrong. The way that you can break this horrible abusive trauma bond, because it is not love, it is a trauma bond if you have all of these things going on, guarantee. Seek therapy, get help, get all the support you need, and sometimes it's not going to be your network of people that you know, because maybe you've done the same trauma bond with all of them. So if that is the case, be kind to yourself. You're going to have to start from scratch. Watch videos like this. There's a lot of support out there for free. Share this video with somebody if you think it could help them, because the more awareness that we have and the less shame or no shame, we can really heal from this and help one another.